It's our final stop on our tour through the Napa Wine Company family of wineries, and tonight we're ending things with Oakville Winery's Red Blend. We've had some hits along the way, but can this bottle close out the series on a high note? Let's find out.
Welcome to Stop Wasting Your Wine, a wine review podcast dedicated to helping you discover great wines with great value for every occasion. I am Joel, and congratulations, you've found the best damn wine show out there. As always, I am joined. You did it. Congrats. As always, I'm joined by Colin and Aaron. Hello, gentlemen. This is our final week. Hello.
You left a little pause there. I didn't know if I was supposed to yell my name. You're like...
That is what the pause was for.
Colin.
Yes.
Aaron. Sorry.
Yes. Yes. Listen, guys, this is no time for tomfoolery. This is our final week of our tour through Napa Wine Company.
Yes.
What a tour.
It's been a heck of a tour, hasn't it?
Heck of a tour. My God. What a treat.
Yeah. What a fun month.
Fun month. Great wine so far. I mean, just full of bangers, too. I don't think we've had one less than a must share. I mean, they've all been excellent.
No, and you know, we'll say this, they shared these wines with us, but outside of, them sending us these wines, we're not paid to say anything that we've said so far. We were under no agreement to say anything. It's just been really good wine. I've been clicking through their wine clubs, to be honest with you, because just getting this many, good hits from 3 different locations has just been really cool.
For sure. Yep. And what a treat. They've all been Napa, California wines, and we're just I feel like at times too we had a big time where we were doing a lot of old world stuff, and we almost were a little hesitant to go to California, and this has just been a really, really nice eye-opener that there's some really great stuff happening here.
Yeah, well, we've been getting a lot of, I think, front of the shelves, end of the aisle, big display, big name Napa cabs, and they've kind of hurt us.
Yeah. Well, we haven't been doing a ton of Napa because usually it's pretty expensive, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, just the cachet that comes along with the Napa brand often prices us out of the region. So
yeah, I guess it's that same trap that we talk about, but also the same 1 degree away from really, really good value and really good wine that we've been experiencing here in this whole last month. And we got one more to enjoy together, guys. We're going to the Oakville Winery here. I'm super excited about it. Hey, Colin, can you tell us a little bit more about the wine that we're going to be trying today?
Sure. So this is Oakville Winery Napa Valley red wine. This is from Oakville in Napa. This is quite an interesting blend. We are looking at 54% Cabernet Sauvignon, 20% Merlot, 13% Cab Franc, 12% Malbec, and 2% Petit Verdot, which is a pretty classic Bordeaux-style blend. So it'll be interesting to see how that translates to Napa. This is a 14.1% ABV. You can pick this bottle up for about $50.
Yeah, and it's cool because this is the 3rd winery here in the Napa Wine Company portfolio that we are going to experience. So yeah, that all sounds pretty interesting. So let's, what do you think, guys? Let's go ahead and give it a first sip.
Do it.
And as a reminder, 1 word, please. I know I'm the biggest.
Yes.
Yeah, who you reminded? Who you reminded right now?
1 word from you, gentlemen. Okay, no tomfoolery. Aaron, hit it.
Fruity.
Accurate.
I'm gonna say tight.
Toit.
Toit.
Yeah.
Like a tiger.
Yeah, I'll say tart.
I like that.
And I think I would have said each of yours had you not. So I'm going to tart. Yeah.
I like that.
Very interesting. Yeah, that's a I like all of those. I want to explore this a little bit more. Let's go ahead, let's get into it here a little bit. And it's interesting because I think we're all feeling and the kind of similar things here.
For sure.
Just interesting, just a lot to unpack here. So Colin, I'll go to you first. What are you getting on the nose?
Yeah, so there's quite a bit going on here as far as the aromas are concerned. You're definitely getting some dark fruit, some red fruit. I think it honestly crosses the spectrum here, especially with the blend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're getting quite a bit. I think there's actually a bunch of stuff in there. I'd love to hear what you guys. I'll keep it high level there. I'd love to hear what you guys think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me take it low level for you.
So, I love that. Take us there.
Please.
Really dig in for you. No, I think 100% I would have said that the dark fruits. And I think on top of that, you also have like the earthiness and the spice.
Yeah.
That, again, it makes total sense when you look at the blend between, especially between the Cab Sauv and the Cab Franc. Like, it just has that real, like, kind of earthy grittiness to it that I really like.
It does. I think that's a good call. Also, just one of the biggest things really sticking out here is, like you said, that spice. Definitely some baking spices coming through in that one. Little like vanilla, little clovey kind of situation. We should mention that this was aged 18 months in French oak.
Good call out.
Mm-hmm.
So it does make sense.
And then is anybody getting a little bit of pepperiness? Not like green pepper, but like cracked pepper.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting a lot of that. I don't know how that's coming across with you guys, but
No, that makes sense. I think that goes along with the spiciness and even actually with the earthiness a little bit. In my brain, those kind of cross paths a little bit when I talk about earthiness. And then I think you started bringing up pepper I feel like that's like a recent itch of yours, because I think pepper came up once or twice in the past month.
Well,
but it makes total sense.
Drinking a lot of
drinking some
wine from the same people,
lot of pepper.
so maybe that's part of the flavor profile.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I like that call. All right. Yeah. Just kind of like a lot, right? Like characteristics from, obviously it's, it's a very interesting blend, so it's not too shocking, but just lots of individual characteristics really presenting themselves here, which is kind of cool. So let's give it a taste. Colin, I feel like I cut you off there on something, so I'll let you go first.
No, it's just, I think the cool thing about this is like the fruit profile. There's like, there's blackberry and a little bit of dark plum, but then you also get some strawberry and maybe even some more red cherry. The breadth of the fruit I'm experiencing is quite interesting because there are so many different, not only types, but I feel like freshness levels too. Like the red fruit seems to pop out a little bit more fresh, and where the dark fruit seems to be a little bit more, I don't want to say cooked, but it's definitely a little bit more ripe.
I think the first thing I'm noticing is the structure of this a lot standing out to me because one, like it feels like it should be this big red, but it's actually a little bit, it's less heavy than I thought it was going to be on the pour. There's kind of like this medium body to it that I wasn't expecting. I don't know, I wouldn't call it thin, but there's like a lighterness to it that I wasn't expecting. Not saying it's a light wine at all, but just lighter than what I thought was going to happen. Finish like all the way through. I think there's a nice finish on this. I'm getting like a good taste in the beginning, and then it kind of carries all the way in. And the tannins are actually just kind of like medium high tannins, but it's not as tannic as, again, I would expect seeing like the Cab Sauv and the Cab Franc, part of the blend. It's definitely tannic, but it's not, mouth grip tannic that I thought it was going to be.
I agree with everything you just said, but what I'm kind of getting here too is I do think it's medium, almost medium plus in like everything.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Tannins, body, everything. But that fruitiness is like pretty punchy in the beginning. That might be kind of lifting it up a little bit, maybe making it feel a little bit lighter. But when you take a step back, it's pretty heavy hitter here.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's bold. There's no doubt about that. I mean, but I will say, and Aaron, maybe this is kind of where you're coming from, but the acid in here, I think, is a little turned up and like
it's kind of cutting through everything a little bit.
Yeah, and not necessarily well balanced at this point. I think it kind of sticks out for me, especially on the sip. Joel, you said tart. I think that's also where that's coming from. I said tight. I think I've only had this open for an hour, and what I'm hoping is that kind of where it is now is because it needs to open up a little bit more. Like it just seems all very compact right now. And not that it's bad right now, but it's just like the balance is missing, I think. And
all the puzzle pieces seem to be there.
They're there, but they're not fitting together yet, right? Like you can see them all, but it doesn't quite make sense. So it'll be interesting to see how this differs towards the end of this episode.
It's one of those wines you kind of wish you had the winemaker here with you. Like, do you want me? Should I decant this? How long should I have opened this ahead of time?
Yeah, for sure.
Should I stick my aerator on this real quick and just see what that does? But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and just one note on the finish, because I do think it is a nice finish. too, but that is where that tartness and some of that salinity is really making itself known. And it's almost like the salinity goes just like a half second longer than everything else that's really nice about it. So it is a very, very involved finish. It doesn't like fade out. It's like there, and it's doing some stuff there.
For sure. No, I agree. And again, I think, or at least I hope, that kind of evens itself out, because it's while there is a lot going on the finish, it's not necessarily, like you said, salinity, and I don't know where that's coming from, but it's not that enjoyable, to be honest. It's kind of a weird way to finish the wine. Like, all the fruit is nice. You still get some of that fruit. You get some of the oak, I think, which you get on the sip too, but then it just has that extra little something that that's not like the best part about the wine.
Well, let's see, because like you said too, Aaron, I do think that this is one that, as we let it sit here, as we maybe do a little learning together, I think this is going to change. I know I probably had mine open maybe 30 minutes longer than you have at this point, Colin, and I think it has been developing. So this will be a really cool one to come back to. But in the meantime, guys, let's do some wine drops. All right, I want to call out one thing, too, on this label here, because I think we need to talk about it because it's very interesting, and that is two very interesting words here, estate grown. Yes, and I think people see that, and they automatically kind of go to, an elevation level here, right? Or some other, fancy kind of wine term that elevates it above others.
Yeah, and it sounds important, but if you really stop someone at a wine store and ask what it actually means, I don't know if most people would be able to tell you, or honestly even care enough to tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if anything, right, it seems just like a quality mark, right? Like, by saying, hey, this is estate grown, it must be better.
Yeah, which I think that's the part that we need to kind of analyze a little bit further here, because the truth of it is, there are really good estate-grown wines. There are less great estate-grown wines. And what it's actually trying to tell you is not necessarily a quality differentiator, but something a little bit different.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we have had some not great quality estate-grown wines, which is... I'm glad you brought that up, because it's so true. Because really what we're talking about when you see estate grown is it's really a statement about control. When you see the term estate grown, all the fruit is coming from the winery's own vineyard. They're not going out and buying Cab or Merlot or Cab Franc from somewhere else. They grow it, they ferment it, and they bottle it all in the same area. So that's really what you're looking at when you see the statement estate grown.
Yeah, and I mean, so I think it's kind of focusing on everything before it hits the cellar, right? When something says estate grown, at the very least, you know that they're just looking at that land and how things grow there. And that could be different, right? Depending on how big the estate is or how much land they have. And there might be one section, they talked about that with, the Ghost Block and Chocolate Block. It's like very small chunks of land that they're working on for those specific things. And some areas might have grapes that are ripening sooner, or it's a cooler area, or it gets more sun, or it gets less sun, or it gets more rain, or it gets less, so it's about like what is happening in that spot and controlling that throughout the entire process of the winemaking.
That's a good call out. And it is little blocks of land, but amongst what could be a very, very different, wide-ranging typography, really. And if, listener, if you haven't seen a vineyard, haven't had the pleasure of going out to see one, definitely do. It's amazing to go meet the winemakers and see where it's done. But just, pull up some pictures of some vineyards. I mean, if you look at it, it's easy to kind of equate it to farm in your head, and you just see rows and rows of grapes. But in reality, you've got different areas of these estates, different inclines, different shading, all these different things. And when I was looking at, the notes on this bottle too, that's one thing that really stood out to me is they spent a lot of time talking about the different blocks of the estate, the different land, different systems in place, different soil, different microclimates within that estate, all due to just the varying, little differences from block to block. It's really pretty interesting.
Yeah, and it kind of gives you an idea of how they're thinking about the wine, right? It's not just one giant vineyard that they're collecting or harvesting grapes from. They're really thinking about how each block could potentially fit into a bigger blend and how those differences are going to show up in the final wine.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's where talking about estate ownership becomes really useful. And it's funny. I think it's so important to different people. I'm thinking about every time I've gone to like the wine enthusiast like Sip of South America event. Like these kind of conversations seem so important, right? Every single vineyard in that area shows you a map, and they talk about like here's the different elevation of the different blocks, and here's all the different aspects of the terroir and the different aspects of the soil. Like when they're really leaning in, and it's a vineyard that you own yourself, or it's a farm that you own yourself, and it's not this big massive thing, but just what you're working on with that land, like that section becomes so very important to what they're doing, and it just it forces everything to kind of revolve around that space and that like timing.
Well, I think it forces everything to happen around that space and everything, but also it puts the control into the winemaker's hands. They're not dependent on somebody else to be growing their grapes, managing all the different factors that come into developing the grapes that you want it to happen. They get to decide. They get to go out every day, make the little tweaks, decide if they're going to water or not, all of those different things to ultimately get the fruit the way that they want to be. It's again, it's not luxury. It's not about, a different classification of wine. It's just an indicator saying we had the control over the entire process here, including how the grapes were grown, how we got from the vineyard to the bottle.
Yeah, and as we've kind of already mentioned, that doesn't automatically make better wine, though, right? Just because you control the entire process doesn't mean you're pumping out fantastic A-tier wine fridge style wines.
100%.
Especially because
you could suck at it.
Yeah, that's right. You might be a terrible farmer. Who knows?
Sure.
But, and to say too, that there are plenty of people buying grapes from other properties that are making awesome wine. So you don't want to, based on this conversation, automatically think, oh, estate grown, that's going to be a good bottle of wine. It doesn't take away or doesn't lessen anybody who's not making estate grown wine, because there are some fantastic non-estate grown wines out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing to remember, right, is that if wine is being made from this massive kind of soulless wine corporation, and then they have like an estate, an estate wine as part of their portfolio, it's still an estate wine made by this massive soulless wine corporation. Like they're still the ones, directing it.
100%.
So, but if you have the experience that we've had over the past month, where we're working with Napa Wine Company, and they're this really cool smaller community that's putting a lot of heart and soul into their wine, then the estate label matters a little bit more, because these winemakers who are really like steering the ship have a lot of control as well over what they're doing.
All right, well, I'm curious. I know we tried it a little bit here. I think we got some thoughts, but curious to see, if we find anything different here as we go back to this wine. So let's go ahead. I think we've learned a little bit. Let's see if there's anything new that we want to call out, and go ahead and give this thing our review. All right, well, it's time for the review. As a reminder, on the Stop Wasting Your Wine podcast, we don't really believe in numbers when it comes to talking about wine. We believe in the vibes, the feeling of the wine, and who you want to enjoy it with. So our must-share wines are wines that are exceptionally good bottles of wine that have something extra special that deserves to be shared. Our solid pours are really good wines with really good value. Our casual sippers are enjoyable, not necessarily memorable. And then wines that are overvalued, low quality, or just plain undrinkable are wastes of our wine. Of course, we all have 3 spots in our coveted wine fridge for our 3 favorite wines as we try them. So
this point, man, your fridge is like 2/3 full.
It is
of Napa Wine Company wine.
I've been really enjoying this month. They make really good wine.
That is true. No argument
but yes,
there.
it is. They have taken control. They've taken control of my wine fridge. But hey, listen, today, as the host of this episode, and based on no other quality at all, I am going to go ahead and go last on this one. So I'll throw it to you guys. And Aaron, I might go to you first, if you don't mind. Would love to know anything else you want to call out about this wine, and then where you're placing this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think one thing is the longer you keep it open, I think the more it's kind of coming together. I think this is definitely a wine that if I could go back in time a little bit, I'd probably open it an hour or two earlier.
Or
Maybe
6.
decant it, give it a little bit. Yeah, just give it a lot of time to open up. I am actually enjoying the heck out of it, drinking it. I think it checks very specific boxes for me. I love that. I love that Cab Franc note. I can see how maybe this wine would be a little bit too much going on for some folks. For me, it's like just checking all the boxes.
Sure.
That being said, I think this is like a really solid pour. I think this is just a really solid pour of a bottle of wine. I think it would be a general crowd pleaser, especially if you figure out like exactly when you need to open it up. I'm thinking I want to have this with a steak. I want to have this with a big dinner. Like there's a lot of stuff going on here that's not. I think I love earlier that you said kind of everything's medium plus, Joel. I think there's enough going on here to really add to a good pairing without distracting from it. Right.
Sure.
So, yeah. So I think this is a really solid pour bottle of wine that I'd be completely happy if it continued to pop up in my life.
Colin, what do you think?
Yeah, so you definitely need to decant this one. Honestly, you could even probably throw this in a decanter in the morning and be happy with it that evening. Like, I don't
That'd
think...
be fun.
Yeah, mine's now been open for like an hour and a half, and it has definitely opened up quite a bit, but it's still super tight. And I think this bottle you could probably age for another 10 years. You know, I'd love to try it again a couple years down the road. I think that would help with a lot of the issues that are currently in there. That being said, I think before, Aaron, you kind of mentioned all the puzzle pieces are here. I think that's absolutely right. I think all the puzzle pieces are here for this to be a must share, but it's not there yet. Whether it's because it's too young of a wine or I haven't had it decanted long enough, I don't know, but I can only really judge what I'm drinking. That being said, it's still a solid pour for me. You know, I think it's tasty. The structure is nice. And as it opens up, it gets even more imbalanced. So I think overall, it's a really well-made wine. Like, there's no doubt about that. I just think it needs a little bit more time, but still, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's funny. I think we're all pretty aligned on this one. So when I first had a sip of this, and my first sip was about 30, 40 minutes after I opened this, I was like, oh, I think that this is going to be somewhere in either the really, really high end of the casual sipper or somewhere in the solid pour section. As I've been enjoying this more and more and drinking this is solidly in the solid pour section. It's just so interesting, you know? And at the end of the day, it is a good wine. I think, again, it's cool that there's a lot that we're able to pick apart on this and talk about. And I always think it's cool when, you can come back every 10, 15 minutes and there's something new in there. Very, very fun. The whole thing has been good, and I'm a trend guy. Not that I'm trendy, but I like to see trends and data. And this is trending up as we go, which is also a beautiful thing. So yeah, super cool, really good wine, and just fun to talk about. All right, so before we let everybody go, guys, I think it's time for a game. And if it's okay, I would love to introduce a brand new Stop Wasting Your Wine game. You guys okay with that?
Wow,
a new game.
Let's do it.
We haven't had a new game in a real long time.
I know. I figured it was time. All right. So here's the point of the game, okay? I'm going to ask you guys 3 questions, and I have no expectation that you know the answer. And the range of the answers can be wildly, wildly wide, okay? So the point is just to be the closest to the pin. It's okay that you might not know the answer, but give me the best guess. We're not doing Price is Right rules here. We're doing closest to the pin.
Okay.
Okay?
Good guess.
Yes. And we're going to call this game Grape Guesses.
Oh, I don't need a good
name.
guess. I need a grape guess.
That is correct.
Yes, I love that.
That's a great name.
Guess. Yes. All right. You guys want to give it a go?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I feel great about this.
Oh,
sorry.
very
Let's
good.
continue.
You guys.
All right. To pick who gets to guess first in the first round, do a little scavenger hunt. The first person to show me a book gets to go first. Go.
Book.
Okay.
Hey.
Aaron gets to go first.
That's not fair at all.
Read more, Colin.
I don't
Listen, I don't make the rules.
I'm
I
in
just
my
I just
kitchen.
enforce the game. Well,
So am I. Crazy, huh?
You are not.
Your kitchen doesn't look like this?
I've been to your house. That is not your kitchen.
All right, here we go. For the first one, Aaron, you get to go first.
Colin's
You're both
gonna
going to
help
give me
you.
your guesses.
You just have the
Here we go.
opportunity to just go off my guess and give a better guess. Go ahead, Joel.
I don't know. Might be better, might be worse. Here's my question. What percentage of wine yield from Napa Valley, California, is Cabernet Sauvignon?
I'm going to say 65%.
Okay. Colin?
I'm going to say 85%.
85%. Okay, the winner of the first round is Aaron with a guess of
Wow.
65. The actual yield, 40%. 40%.
Wow, only
Really?
40% of wine
Kind of
coming out of
shocked.
Napa
You're
is
blowing my
Cab
mind.
Sauv.
You're blowing
That
my
is
mind.
correct. Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
look at that. It's
Mhm.
not just a Cab Sauv area.
Absolutely. Yes, a lot going on
There's so
down
much
there.
more.
Okay.
Crazy. 40%.
Very good.
We're all
Yeah.
learning stuff already. This is a great game.
See?
Oh, boy. There he is.
Grape
again.
guess, Aaron.
Thank you, Joel.
See?
You're doing a great job.
I love this
All
game.
right. Okay.
This is the best game we've done. All right, question number 2. Colin, you get to give me your answer first this time.
Sure.
How many wineries are in Napa County?
Wow. Man. Oof. I'm going to say 120.
120 wineries. Aaron?
My brain wants me to say 119, but that would be really. I'm gonna say. Yeah, I'm gonna say 119.
119. The
Unbelievable.
winner of this round is Colin
Hey,
with a
there
guess
you
of
go.
120. The actual number, 500.
Wow.
Oh wow!
Yes.
There's a
The
lot
range
of
is
people
475
squished
to
in there.
500 is what's reported, but I'm going with the high one there.
That's
So
crazy.
500.
What defines a winery? It's like guy with like grapes growing out of a shoe in the backyard.
Probably, right? You probably get to some really tiny,
Yeah.
wineries, right?
500.
That's crazy.
500.
Wow! I tried to lowball you. Serves me right.
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh, boy. That's what makes Grape Guesses so
So
wild. Grape Guess, Colin. Okay, final question. Aaron gets to give his guess first on this one. In Napa Valley, how many acres of vineyards are planted?
Oh,
Wow.
I'm glad I get to
all
guess
of
first on
Napa
this.
Valley.
This is a fun
See,
game
going
because
first is not necessarily
no
a benefit
reference
here.
point
Yeah.
at all. I
Yeah.
love how hard and stupid this is. I'm going to
Absolutely.
guess 75,000 acres.
75K from Aaron. Colin, what do you think?
1,000. Okay. Give me a second. 501.
Are you mathing California right now? 'Cause
No. I'm just thinking.
I like to imagine you're
Can
like
you do-
imagining
Yes.
like California in your head, and you're carving it up into grids.
There's quotients and
Yeah.
fractions going around his head right now.
Donald Duck learning, pool, if anyone remembers that.
So,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
yeah, I'm just trying to think. That seems high. That seems high.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Could be.
I'm going to say 15,000.
15,000. This is a first
Oh,
in the history of Grape Guesses.
Oh, well, yeah.
You guys have gone perfectly
Shut up.
no way.
30,000 plus and minus from the actual answer.
No
that's
way.
Yes.
crazy.
The actual answer, 45,000.
That's crazy.
You guys picked
We died.
75 and 15. My mind,
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's
oh my
crazy.
God.
That is
really?
crazy.
yeah.
Colin, good game,
Well
man.
done, sir. Well
Solid,
done.
solid first tie. Really?
I guess we have a tie.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, for sure. Great way to end it. Grape way to end it.
Grape.
Nuts.
It's a grape tie. It's a grape way to end.
Grape guesses,
Great way to
guys.
end.
Oh my God.
Wow.
45,000. So 45,000 acres of
45,000.
vineyards.
Yeah.
40% of Napa's wine production is Cab Sauv. And what was the other one? I lost that one, so I didn't remember.
475 to 500 wineries in Napa County.
500 wineries in Napa County, 40% Cab Sauv, and 45,000 acres of vineyards. Man, I feel like we just learned a ton by not knowing anything.
And we need to play the lottery or something, because I feel like the chances of us each guessing 30,000 in either direction is like astronomical.
That's wild.
So
fantastic.
crazy.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I'm just so impressed by you both.
Mind blown.
Great
Mind
guesses,
blown.
everybody.
Great
What do you guys
games
think?
all
Fun
around.
game?
Well done.
It's a great game.
Well done.
Great
Great
addition,
game.
Joel. Well done. Great addition to
Cheers
the
to
game
that.
portfolio.
Thank you. All right. That was fun. I think we did it. I think that was a lot of fun.
did it.
Appreciate you guys hanging out and having fun. Appreciate you, listener. Thanks for coming to hang out with us. We hope you had a great time. We have to have just a huge shout out here to Napa Wine Company for providing us with the wines for the last month. We enjoyed the heck out of them. It was so good to actually kick everything off by meeting with Priyanka French. She was so cool and just such a great way to tee off
What a great
all
interview.
of this. So we're huge fans and look forward to trying more from their portfolio. I'll tell you that much. And then listener at home, if you come across anything from Napa Wine Co., you have our full endorsement. Please go ahead and give it a try.
Check
we
them
enjoy
out.
the heck
Go
out of it.
visit them and tag us when you get there.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Please do. All right, Aaron, if folks want to hang out with us too, what's the best way for them to do that?
Oh, man. So, first of all, if you have any interest in coming on the show, wine you want to share with us, you want us to review, reach out to us at cheers@stopwastingyourwine.com. Otherwise, check out our website, stopwastingyourwine.com. Hit us up on Instagram. We are always posting new stuff there. And if you send us a direct message, we will write back to you pretty quickly. We love chatting with folks. So, Instagram, website, send us an email.
Yes, indeed.
Well done.
All right. Well, thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time. And in the meantime, just remember, stop wasting your wine.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.